Today, you're going to get to meet Jill Murphy. And many of you have heard me talk about Jill because not only is she a client of mine, but she also totally sold me on this nutrition program that I do now that she does that we're going to talk about. And so this episode is not a sales pitch for FasterWay, but what I can say is it just changed my life. And so I'm really excited to like share Jill with you and to share with you her journey with her ads. And also, I really believe that the impact that I've been able to have with the women that I get to work with and my family in this business has been impacted by my health and what Jill has helped me with. So, in a way, it is saying, like, this is what I do, this is what I love. And Jill has really helped me get there. And so, I'm really excited to share Jill with you. So, let me tell you about Jill. So, Jill has been a nurse for 23 years. She has three kids. She's a wife. She's a mom. She's a certified personal trainer. She's a certified nutrition coach. She's a FasterWay coach. And she believes in what she does so much. And she believes in her people so much. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you'll know that is how I feel about the women that I get to work with. I love them. I am so grateful for them. And I believe in my method so stinking much. And Jill believes the same in FasterWay. So I'm really excited for you to meet her. So, Jill, I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks
Okay,
for
so
having
Jill has a lot of like notes. Like Jill's ready, and y'all, you're gonna love this episode for a few reasons. Number one, because I get to bring Jill to you, and she's just a light. And number two, because let's be honest, Jill's killing it with her ads right now, and it wasn't always the case. So that's what we're gonna talk about: is where was Jill before? What has she been through? How has she kept going even when it was hard? So this episode is gonna be really special. So if you've ever felt like you are starting to question ads and you're starting to question, is this working? And you're wondering, could it work for me? Or you're like, everybody else is or isn't doing it. You're going to love getting to hear from Jill. So, Jill, will you tell everybody a little bit more about like your history with FasterWay? And honestly, why did you decide to start FasterWay in the beginning? Like, where were you at with your health before you started FasterWay and became a trainer and a nutrition coach and all of that?
that is a great question. So I started with the Faster Way April of 2021 as a client. So it came on the heels of two different things, a little bit of a health issue with some thyroid problems, and then I've shared this before. My 9 year old at the time, she was 4, 5, or 6, came home from school and told me that she wanted to start counting calories so that she could be skinny. And so I knew that in the time she had been alive, she had certainly seen that mirrored in our house. And
Mhm.
so I knew I had to change something. So I happened upon a friend who had a sister who coached in the Faster Way. And I thought, well, I've tried everything else. I might as well try it. And so I tried it and it completely changed my approach to food and how I use food in my life. And it changed my body. I was able to heal some of those thyroid issues as well as lose the weight I've been wanting to lose and lose the inches. But more than anything, I felt so good. I was no longer sitting on the couch or not going for that walk in the afternoons or not having the energy to keep up and play with my kids. I felt amazing. And that's why I became a coach so that I could show other women how they can do the very same thing just by changing some of the things in their life that they're already in the habit of doing, just by making some
Mhm.
changes.
You know, I when you say what you said about your daughter, I remember you telling me that at the retreat, and I got gosh, it makes you start to really think about what you're saying and what you're doing. And I forget that even how I eat truly does impact my kids. I don't think that it does, but it does. Like you don't realize it in the moment. I guess that's what I'm saying. And then you realize they're watching everything, including how you talk about yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I heard someone over the weekend. I was learning about taxes of all things. Um, and I heard someone say that your pain is your medicine. And I feel like in a way, like you've taken something that you struggled with that was a pain for you, and now that is your medicine. For everybody else is this program.
Yeah.
And Jill, there was some, can you tell everybody? And the reason I want you to share it is because someone can, okay, if you walked up, y'all can't hardly see this on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube or if you're just listening on the podcast. I'm 95% sure Jill could bench press me. She is so strong. Like when she showed up at the retreat with these other women, I'm like, Jill is not just fit with high energy. She like looks strong. And like that is so powerful. But Jill, you told me something that was challenging for you before. Can you tell me about the family photography situation that you like acknowledge, you remember?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I would, during all of our family pictures, I have family pictures made every year. That's something I'm a fanatic about. But for years and years, I would position my children around me and in front of me so that I wouldn't be seen in the pictures, so that you couldn't tell where I struggled. And whether you saw my struggles or not, they were there. And I was certain everybody else was seeing them. So I made sure my kids covered every part of me from here down so that nobody could see me in the family pictures. And
Yeah.
now I don't have to do that.
Now
I don't
you
have to do that
definitely
anymore.
don't.
Nope.
I resonated when you shared that, and I think I told you this, but after I had Easton, I kept on just some extra weight that I didn't have before. And someone told me once, they're like, you'll never, ever get that body back that you had before kids. And I remember, I get competitive. I'm like, you watch me.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
so I thought of that. And there was a moment where I was hesitant. And you know how I feel about putting on shorts now, but I was hesitant to put on Nike shorts because number one, my current shorts didn't fit me anymore. They gripped around my thighs. They like gathered, like I'm like, they would get to a certain point and I'd be like, oop, that point's too wide. And so they would get stuck there and it just wouldn't look good. And I remember thinking, oh my God, they might be right. This is not the body I had. And you get to a point where you're like, I'm working out. Like I'm eating decently. If I'm still not losing the exact amount of weight, like I look good enough. That's what I told me. You're good enough. Just you're good. Be good here. Be thankful here. Versus saying like, I know it's possible to have tone. Why can't that be me? Why can't I be the one where it's like she's actually strong? Like I wanted that so badly. And so I was frustrated. Like when Jill sold me, y'all, you have to know this. When she like I was driving to Orange Theory one day and she's like, "Why do you drive to Orange Theory?" I'm like, "Cause I love it, Jill." I was like, I'm doing it. She's like, "Well, is it getting you the result you want?" And I was like, almost. Like I've definitely lost weight. Like I am super competitive. I love getting like the high that hits can give. I'm like, boom. I'm super sweaty. Like I love that. And I was like, I am driving round trip an hour. So it's 30 minutes there. It's 30 minutes back. And that's 2 hours of my day. And like I'm not totally getting necessarily exactly where I want to be. And so Jill just educated me. Jill, you explained it one time to me about the engine and the spark plug. I was trying to understand because my whole life I had been told, don't eat too many carbs. And that's pretty much it. Like that's all I knew is don't eat too many carbs. And Jill's like, "Whoa, there's such a piece here. Can you give me can you tell me like it was mind-blowing to me when you were talking about like carbs relationship to protein, I think it was. And I know it's not like this is not an educational podcast for health, but it was so mind-blowing for me that that's what got me curious. I was like, "Wait, I've been lied to my whole life?" So, can you like give that example?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So protein is the engine that builds our muscle. Like we've got to have that to lay down the muscle. But what we aren't taught as women, what we don't know, what we think we're doing the right thing is that the carbohydrates are the spark that ignites the engine to lay the lean muscle down with the protein. So we have to, so people they eat the high protein diet. They go drink all the protein shakes and they eat all the grilled chicken and they do all this but they won't eat a Brussels sprout or an apple or a banana because they're afraid of that carb load that we've all been taught will make us fat. When in actuality, those healthy carbs are what take that protein and build that lean muscle, which helps you burn fat. So
So, what I heard was you have to have carb for the protein to turn to lean muscle. When I heard that, I was like, wait, you need carbs so that is why I decided to, learn from Jill. And Jill had already bought my program. So I'm like, listen, I was like, it won't hurt. I need to understand this program anyway. But I was like, let me just do this. She's amazing. She believes in this so much. And a lot of times that's why people move forward. It's not what you say, it's how you say, and with the conviction that you say it. And so I was like, she is convicted that this method is smart. I'm like, I'm convicted my method's brilliant too. So I'm like, if she's that passionate about it, then okay, let's give this a try. And so Jill is the reason I think about food differently today. And so I want to talk about Jill's ads, but I want to say this last thing about this whole process. So I really feel like I helped Jill think differently about ads, and she helped me think differently about food. She's
Absolutely.
smiling.
Absolutely.
And because she had tried ads and I had tried food. Like we had both had like tried other things. Like I tried other programs, she tried other things, and we both had it like not a great experience. And people ask me that all the time. They're like, I've tried ads before. I'm like, and you know, that person, your performance will fall to the level of your skill. And when you think about other programs, the program working is dependent on number one, the person doing the work, but also the methodology behind it. And this was just different. And so yeah, Jill sold me, and because I told her I was eating peanut butter in the pantry alone, and she was like, "How much So what I found, she's laughing. What I found was I learned a lot about food so much that like I told Jill I was having like a tablespoon or two of peanut butter every day hiding in my pantry because I didn't want people to see it. And it turns out it was not a tablespoon. It was like significantly. It was like probably 3 or 4 tablespoons per because I was scooping. Anyway, I was scooping too much peanut butter, and Jill was setting up ads not in the most ideal way. And now we're doing things differently. So, Jill, will you tell everybody a little bit about where were you at with your business before you started with me, and tell them a little bit about like your experience with ads? You were running into some roadblocks. Like, give us a little bit of history.
Yes, yes. So about this time last year, so it's November 2024. So about November of 2023, I started seeking out some help with ads because before ads or before I started with you, I was just like, as you say, posting and praying. Like I was just posting
PMP,
on
post and
Instagram
pray.
and just praying, just post. And I mean, posting a ton. I mean, a ton of time on Instagram and Facebook, and just kind of like getting up earlier than normal in the morning so that I could video and post, and then posting on my lunch break, and then posting when I got off work, and posting driving, and then recording and post, with that little thing in your car. And so I would video and I would post, and I mean, I would have 20 stories a day. I was just posting, 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 posting. And I just got like, there's got to be a better way. And so I started seeking out. I looked at some local ad agencies here where I live. I reached out to several online. Those didn't work out. I did pay somebody to run some ads for me at a period of time. That didn't work out. It was just kind of roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. So in January of 2024, I started seeing some ads for this high energy lady that reminded me a lot of me, except she was talking about ads. And she was talking about ads every time I pulled up my Instagram. It's like she was following me. It's like every time I pulled up the Instagram, there was Ashley Brock. And so I think I messaged you, or I hit one of your things and I got like a download, and and then I was like, oh, this sounds great, but in my heart, like I've been burned by ads before. I'm just no thank you. But you sound great. And so, of course, then now I know I'm going to see you more. So I see you. I mean, I see you all the time. And so I was just looking at my budget today. I made that first commitment to you February 29th of 2024. So it
Wow.
took me 6 weeks to buy. It took me 6 weeks of me like messaging you and you messaging me back. And then it took me like another 2 weeks to like buy more. So I ended up buying into the VIP
Wow.
program because I started and I was like, I need help. I need the expert. I just need the expert. So
It's really easy. Gosh, there's so much goodness there. It's really easy for someone to be burned by something and to not want to do it again. Like that's logical. That's so human to say, tried this, didn't work, and you make a decision based on past experience, which in your
right,
case was not great. So of course
right.
you're going to be resistant to ads. And It's kind of like diets. I mean, people are going to try a diet. Like I tried diet. I tried every diet. Like, of course
Yeah,
they have. Their faster way is different. This method is different. But what I love is there is a really good thing that happens when people don't buy. Like when people, or let me tell you this. Here's the good thing that's happening when people aren't buying. You weren't buying, but you were thinking about it
right.
for weeks.
Oh yeah.
I could have told myself my ads aren't getting a sale right now. But really, the selling was happening the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just a reminder that so many, because a lot of women, and this may have happened to you, when you first start, you're like, okay, they clicked. Why aren't they buying immediately? And it's, and you're like, wait, they were searching, they found me. Why, where is their credit card? They literally met me yesterday. What are they waiting for? I'm awesome. Like that's how we feel because we are so convicted for what we sell. And they're like, I just met you. And so sometimes even your most ideal clients, y'all, Jill is a dream. And I can't wait for you to hear her results in just a second. And it also took her weeks to make a decision. That's normal. That's okay. And so even when you feel like your ads aren't working, Jill was working on it behind the scenes on how to make this work, you know? So Jill, okay, let's start talking about this because this is what's happened with Jill. Jill's noticed. I feel like Jill, you've kind of noticed some momentum happening. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So tell us about, so you started and you when you purchased, where were you at with your group? Like tell me just a little bit about where you were at. Give me some numbers.
I started running ads. So I purchased your program February the 29th, got started. I did not run my first ad until May.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's when the budget says I ran my first ad. So that's gotta
Yes,
be right.
that's
So
right.
that's what it says. So May the 16th, I ran my first ad. Okay. So in my May round of Faster Way, I had 3 clients.
Okay.
That was from the posting and praying. That was from posting and
A and
praying
B.
and reaching out and personal reach out and all that stuff and personal like um community events, one-on-one
Gosh,
events, like all the
so
things.
much physical effort.
So much physical effort,
The
which
posting,
I love, but
I had no idea you posted that much. Like, if someone's listening and you're like, because here's what we know about Jill. Jill is freaking hardworking. She will do the dang work because she believes in what she has so much. She was posting like a crazy person. Like because she was doing it, she's like, I'll do it. But all she really needed, like, was for her to do some work once so that she could be like prominent, so that she could be president. Like that's
it's just
you
thinking about that. So I was unloading the dishwasher earlier. Like my ads are working while I'm unloading the dishwasher. I don't have to be posting. My ads are
yes.
working while I'm on a date with my husband. I don't have to be, you know what I mean? Like my ads are working, even if nobody's buying, they're working. Somebody's looking at them.
Jill texted me, messaged me the other day. She's like, Ashley, she's like, I got us out of surgery, and there were because she does surgery on brains and spines. Okay, she's brilliant. Okay, she gets out of surgery, and then she's like, oh, I got 5 messages. Someone, there's a time you sent me, you got out of surgery, and someone had bought from an ad. You're like, someone bought from an ad. It was my retargeting ad. Like you were on fire, and so that's the gift that I love with ads. Is it's like you are able to not have to post 24/7 and yet be present 24/7.
Right. Because when they see my original ad, if they don't buy from it, they're gonna see me again because I learned that trick from you.
Yes, that's right.
You're not gonna get away from me unless you unfollow me. I mean,
That
that's possible. but
without it
but
happens
then you're
to
gonna get me in the prospecting ad again. So
I I love it so much. Okay, so let's talk about those numbers then. So May was post and pray strategy, which is a lot. And so that was 3 people. So then what was your June round?
18,
That's 6 times more people.
6 times.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
And so then I had summer, they were like, I kind of slacked off. I ran ads in June and then I kind of pulled back a little bit.
okay.
And it was summer, right? So I averaged around 11 or 12 July, August.
Okay.
And I ran a challenge the 1st of September with my ads. And I had 41 people in that challenge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's huge.
And then, okay, so 41, and then October,
October, I had 24.
and that was in your actual 6-week challenge.
That was in my actual 6 week challenge. Yeah.
The 20, so the 41 was the 5-day challenge, right?
41 was a 5 day challenge. Yeah.
But the
41
20,
in that 5 day challenge, and then 25 of them continued with me.
wow.
Into,
Oh, good. Okay, so
and
that means September you ended up having 25 in your round, and October was 24 in your round.
that's right.
So
Yep.
you had your best month ever because that was the most you've ever had in a round. And how many years with FasterWay?
3.5.
Wow. That's so awesome.
Yep.
Man, how do you feel?
Amazing. Like, but I want to, I do want to say to the people out there that think they can't afford it.
Please.
Um, I'm not spending $4,000 and $5,000 a month. Like in the month of October, I spent $400 on ads.
Wow.
I spent $400. Now, some months I spend more. If I have a challenge that I need to ramp up, I will add more money to it. But I have some ads that run all the time, and then I have some that I target 1 week before my challenge starts. But
Wow.
I want people to understand you don't have to spend, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen success on a tight budget.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people, because people want to know, okay, Jill, how'd your best month? But so let's talk about it. If you spent $400 on ads, you got greater than a 10-to-1 return, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Oh man, it's so awesome. Yeah, and I will say you didn't start with a 10-to-1 return.
No, I started with a negative.
Yeah,
Started with a
please
negative return.
tell them the
Yeah.
truth. The
Yeah,
people
I
need
started
the
with a
honesty.
negative return. I probably, because you have to iterate and make changes to your audience and find your people, right? Your people are out there, but they're not necessarily the first people that you target. And so I probably had 100 conversations before I converted,
Yeah.
before I found my people.
That's helpful. Like you really, so she was, so y'all, she was getting a lead. So think about this. Imagine what would you do? What would you do if you got lead after lead after lead after lead? In fact, you got 100 and no one said yes. Would you stop? Because Jill did not. And that's the only reason she's here is because she is the person that says, I know people want this thing. I know ads can get me there. I've not found the right people. And data makes decisions and decisions makes dollars. And so the data helped him to make a decision. We need to just keep redoing it, keep redoing it. Like we would literally start over so many times. We would say different audience. I would say, Jill, send me your ads again. Like we did this back and forth for months. And now she had her best month ever and a 10-to-1 return on ads. But it took 6 months, more than that.
Yeah, May.
May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So we're 7 months. That's the thing, Jill, what would you say to the person that says, how long do you go until it works? What would you say to them?
Until it works. You just keep going until it works because you'll find something that works. Like right now, currently, I have 2 ads that are running, and I looked at them today. One of them's cost per conversation is going way up, so it's not optimized. So I turned it off so
Yep.
that I can funnel that money. But I know how to do that because Ashley taught me how to do that because she was so sold on her process that she sold me, and so I wanted what she had, and so I mean, had I not come to you, I would know how to do that. If somebody else was doing my ads, they may not have their finger on the pulse of what my cost per conversation is. I'm
Mm.
just paying somebody. And so now I have the knowledge to turn that ad on or throw another ad up and see if that one works. Like,
The real question is, are you quicker in surgery or are you quicker in ads manager now? Because you have set up so many ads. I feel like you might be faster with ads.
that's a great question.
Honestly, you've done it so many. Like Jill is not afraid to be like, let's start over, new campaign, new ads, new audiences, new whatever. She's got Google ads. She's made changes to her website. She's made changes to so many things because she's so convicted and she's kept with the method. And it's like, hey, would you be willing to take a loss for 5 months to get a 10-to-1 return and then for the rest of your life have a 10-to-1 return?
Absolutely.
Many
But more
people.
importantly, are you willing to do that so that the people who desperately need you can find you?
That. That is why, so Jill, I cannot tell you how many times I've played a voice memo that you sent to me to Kyle because I've wanted him to hear like this is why it's not about ads to like this is why ads is the vehicle, but this is the payoff. It's every episode that I get to have with every woman that says, "Thank God someone actually thanks Jill." Jill has people thank her for running her ads. Have you not?
Yeah.
People have
Yeah.
said, "Thank you for running your ad." Same thing for me. Jill has said, "Ashley, thank you for running the ad that day. It has changed my business and my family." And so that's exactly right. You running ads is speeding up you getting in front of the Jills in your life, the Ashleys in your life, who are just like eagerly waiting for you to please sell them and show them a new way. Makes me so happy. Jill, something else that you said to me that has been like so special is how you've said, yes, your ads have performed well, but also you've changed. How would
Um,
how would how would you say you've changed over the last 6 months as a person, as a woman?
I am more convicted about what I do for about what I coach, what I teach. Um, I'm more sold. And I know you've said this before. The more you sell, the more you're sold. I am convinced that I have something that women who are struggling need. And I need to get in front of them and show them how they can change their lives. How they can absolutely change their lives through something as simple as fitness and nutrition, something as simple as what we all know the right things to do, but sometimes we just need somebody to show us exactly what to do. And I'm convinced that the people who need me are out there and I just need to get in front of them.
Yeah. You
And
know,
I would have shied away from that. I could not have a conversation with other people before this. I really couldn't. I could, but I couldn't. I don't know how to explain it. Like sometimes I was super confident if I was in my element, but other times if you caught me off guard, I'm just like blabber and bubble. But I know what I have is valuable. That's different. I know what I have is valuable.
your belief has changed in yourself and what you have to offer because you've gotten in hundreds, if not 1,000 conversations at this point.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, what I'm so happy about with you in particular is that you want to change people's life without it costing you yours. And before, it was costing you every bit of
Um,
your being.
all and I think we've talked about this before. In life, it will cost you your time or your money. And what are you willing to be more open-handed with? And I'm just telling you, with my three kids at home, I'm not willing to be open-handed with that time that I can do other things with. If I can get the same result better with another method. And that's this method.
I'm so proud of you, Jill. This has been so good. I mean, I was excited to have you on the podcast. Number one, because of how you've helped me with my health. But number two, like I was excited to have this with you just based on like you sending me the level of energy that it was your best month ever and that you had hit a revenue goal that you had been working towards. It's such a big deal. And it's why I don't know if you can see on YouTube, it's why I have chills right now because that is what fires me up. And I've told you and I'll tell every woman I work with, please keep sending me the testimonials. If Jill sends me five a week that's like, I got another sale, I got this, I'm delighted. Like I'm never surprised because this is how the method works. And it's for me, it's for Jill, it's for you, it's for anyone. When you keep refining, she had to refine. Let's be clear. It took time and she had to refine. And now her income has climbed. It's great. But it does take that time. So, Jill, gosh, what are your goals? Like, what do you want? Like, what is your next big goal? I know you've worked so hard and you've hit your best revenue month. What is the vision that you have for yourself now that you have ads?
I would, my goal is to continue to be able to spend more on ads so that I can get in front of more people that need to find me. And so I I have the capacity to, and I want to serve more people. And when you make more money in your business, you have more money to spend.
It's great.
More people can find you and
It's
more people
great.
can find you. And so this is a number that makes a lot of sense. I started running ads in May. My revenue in October is a little more than double from what I had in May. And that's from, once again, not spending. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've spent plenty on ads, but this is a small budget. This is a small budget.
Yes. And
I'm
it's
working with.
been profitable.
Yeah, because once you find the right audience, they don't cost that much.
Yeah. She's like, I'm getting a great cost per lead over here. My cost per conversation. And a lot of your conversations, would you say over time your quality of conversation has improved?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you find your people, it's like the secret sauce. When you're talking, you know what I mean? They're looking for you and
You're like, perfect. It's message. There's two things with ads. It's messaging and targeting. And it takes
right.
time to nail both. And Jill's had to go through the valley of not death, but the valley of challenge to like make it through to figure out the messaging and the targeting. But when you do, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Like your
Yeah,
business becomes fun again. Like you're like, I want my biggest stressor to be how can I even handle having this many conversations? Like that's the goal that I want for you.
right. I mean, one challenge ago, so not this challenge because I just turned my ads on, but last challenge I had to turn them off. I'm like, I
Handle
can't
it.
talk, I can't talk anymore. Like I had to turn them off. And
Yeah.
that's a great place to be. Like that puts you in the driver's seat. You're not in the driver's seat when you're posting and praying. You're not.
True.
Everybody else is in the driver's seat. The algorithm's in the driver's seat. You know, whether or not Instagram's having a great day that day, whatever. You're not in the driver's seat, but you are in the driver's seat when you're able to run your own ads, when you're in control, when you
Yeah.
have the ability and the knowledge. And that's what you give us. That's what you give us, Ashley. You transfer that knowledge to us and you put us in control.
Mm. Jill, you know what the heart, this just makes my heart so happy. You know it. You know what the hardest thing is about what I do? One of the hardest things? It is that I am selling something that requires people to work. And I was thinking about how you do too. Like you can give me the app, you can give me the recipes, you can give me the workouts. In fact, you do. And then it is on me to click play every single day. And that's hard, because you're saying, hey, give me money and it's going to take work.
Yep.
Now, your life could change and your family could change and your income impact could change and you could become the most famous for what you do, but it requires you to work.
Right.
That's
But
hard.
but you would agree that it doesn't feel like, I don't know,
It
like
doesn't feel like
once
work anymore, does it?
it doesn't feel like work anymore. No, because you're not like before I felt like I was scratching and clawing for a client. Do you know what I mean? Like just
Yes.
somebody just I can't tell you how many rounds FasterWay I gave away. Like just let me coach
Wow.
you. Once I coach you, you'll like just let me just try it. Just try it.
Whereas now people are like, is there a spot for me? Can I do
There's
it?
is there a
Yeah.
spot? Do you have any spots left?
Yeah.
And that's a great place to be. But it's all because you ran an ad and
Yeah.
I was your target.
You know what, Jill? It reminds me of like when I started actually building muscle. It's like I actually love the workouts a little bit more. Because I'm like, I'm feeling strong. I like my workout clothes. I'm feeling good in them. People are starting to notice that I'm like, I actually have muscle and tone. And so you actually, the workout is still hard, but you enjoy it more. And it doesn't feel like work. You're like, this, I actually look forward to my workouts. It's like you probably now look forward to launching ads, but you just can't get there. You can't get there on anything that you do in life unless you do hard work.
Right.
You're selling hard work. I'm selling hard work. And what we're selling on the other side of the hard work is a life that is stronger, happier for you, for your kids, for your family. So yes, it will require work. And yes, you will feel the best you felt in your business and your body with ads and with health. You know,
Absolutely.
so good, Jill. I'm so thankful for you. All right. Well, I want all of you are going to wonder, okay, can Jill work this magic with me? And yes, I have a link below this episode where it'll allow you to join FasterWay through, like, it's like a through me, but mainly with Jill.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I've got a link. I'll send it to you so you can work with Jill because she's really helped me like customize my plan. That's not something everybody offers, but she does that and it's really special. So it's really nice having a Jill in your corner when you're like, hey, Thanksgiving's coming up. What do I really need to think about? If I had an option between the sweet potato souffle and this, like what would you pick and why? Like it's helpful to have someone in your ear. Jill, I'm really thankful. Is there any last things you would like to share with anybody before we end today about just your experience with ads, working together, or just like the woman that you are now?
Yes, yes. I would say if you're on the fence and you, number one, think it's too much money, you don't think you have time, you don't think you'll be able to figure out because you're not techie, I would encourage you to work with Ashley. It, it is the best decision I have made in my business, hands down. And I've made a lot of business decisions. And she is by far the best decision I have ever made in my business. And I would make it 100 times again. I would make it 100 times again.
Jill, I know I've hugged you once. I'm going to hug you at the summit
Yes.
again. Okay. And um I'm just really proud of you because you're like you didn't invest. People have said it. I'm investing with you. You are absolutely not investing in me. You are investing in you through a training that a method that I've developed. And so I am so thankful for you and I'm so thankful for your relentlessness, your resilience, your passion, your curiosity because it changed my life and I'm just so thankful for you too. So I will give you a hug when I see you in the summit in January. And by the way, if you're listening and you want to meet Jill, come to the Power of Paid Ad Summit. So get your ticket below this episode. You want to be in the room with hundreds of women like me, like Jill, like everybody else you've listened to on this podcast and or this YouTube channel who are just the women on fire for what they do. And just like Jill and just like me, you can be the mom that is found, but you can't be known if you're not shown. And you've got to be the person that people can find because they're waiting for you. So get in the room at the summit. I cannot wait to see you. And Jill, I'm so grateful for you. And we will chat soon.